Oh, the power of Christ did not compel me in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, it really didn't.
It tried, but...
it failed. Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately.
What's up, Geek Gang?
What's up, Geek folks? Hope you're good in there, out there, everywhere.
That's right. I'm Lainey.
I'm Jay.
What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to be talking about what we took a look at the Exorcist Believer over the weekend. So
did it make a believer out of you?
We're going to talk some geeking about it because this is not it.
It's not it.
Nah.
Okay.
All right. Of course, you guys can check us out on Instagram. You can check us out on TikTok. Please make your comments, like, share, subscribe. Do whatever is best to help us to put more content out. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Tell us what you think. Did you like Believer?
Yeah.
Did you like our analysis of it? Once you hear it, let's go.
Let's go.
I mean, listen, it's a missed opportunity, but it wasn't raw.
No, it wasn't a rough one. I mean, actually, it could have been better.
Okay.
To what the critics are saying about it, it's not wonderful. But for me, I think it could be something good. Just a few little things that should have been corrected.
How so?
Well, first thing first, there's a lot of questions that wasn't answered. Mm-hmm. One of the things is that there's not much emphasis or there's not much spotlight on the friend.
Okay.
You know, it's mostly spotlight on the black girl, but not on the white girl. So there is something missing because obviously they're good friends, but it doesn't seem like that. From the beginning of the movie, it focused on the mother's death, and then her just came into the picture. She admired her mother, and then she went to school, and you see both of them together, and you're like, you didn't see how, what are they connected by? Why are they going into the woods? Why are they conjuring this spirit? Where did they get all this idea from? It's like a lot of story a lot of things that is cut out.
So I think that some of that could be answered and some of that is not answered. You don't know why they're going to woods, right? Because it would have made sense if they were going to a cemetery, if they were going to the ruins of a holy place or whatever. But it just seems like they were just going to the woods and got this like dank, I don't know where it was, like kind of underground, kind of not underground.
It's like it wasn't planned. They weren't planning or anything.
Well, there was a little bit of a plan because they was like, yo, I'm going to tell your mother we going here. I'm going to tell your mother we going here. Like they had a plan. But like, I think what you're getting to is that there was a lot of ideas that were just really unfinished. Yeah. You really couldn't be so grounded in those girls because you don't really know them. You definitely got at least a little time with Angela and her family, but the other girls were just like, she was there just to be there, and I think that was a shame. If you're going to do that in the marketing and make it feel as if this is supposed to be even more of a presence because you have two characters that are afflicted, then give us time with two characters and make us want to be invested in them.
The entirety of the film, the film is mostly focused on the demon. There is not a lot of space that is in the front part of the movie that kind of give you some idea that these two girls are really good friends and they do things together and everything like that. It don't give you anything like that. Now that they have conjured this demon inside of them, it's like the film is kind of forcing you to embrace both of them as friends because the way how they're connected, the demon is in both of them. And their hearts start beating as one. So it's just weird how everything is just focused mostly on the spirit that they conjured in, but not their relationship as a friend, stability
even after
there's nothing,
right? Because even after, there were some times that they were kind of lucid and kind of not. You could have still focused on their friendship at that point, exactly. But it wasn't. And I think that if they would have made the girl's siblings, if it would have came from one family so that you weren't having to go between the two families, I think that would have solved that problem that you're talking about. Because then you would have seen some development before and after to still have us invested as for them, right? Versus them being in two separate spots, and then them having even two separate family dynamics. I understood why, because you had one family that was really, really religious, and the other, the father was not. But I don't know. I think to your point, if you would have put them as siblings, that would have made a lot of a difference.
Yeah, probably if both of them came out as twins or some shit like that.
Fine.
That would be perfect.
I think that's cliched, but still fine.
I still, in the movie, I still think that should have gone voodoo route. Probably back to Haiti where they got confronted with the group of people that did the voodoo tradition with the mom. I think the movie should have brought them back into the picture so that it could be two forces fighting the demon, the Christian force and the voodoo force.
So
you know what I mean? So that's what I think that they should have done.
That's not a bad idea. And I think that when you're trying to develop that, they should have given then more time to that aspect. What they tried to do was bring a little bit of that into the aspect, then a little bit of that into the exorcism, and then try to make us feel like, oh, they're being multicultural or something like that. Go deeper into that, okay? Take your time, especially because this is going to be a trilogy. They could have taken things to actually invest us in. And if they wanted to be different, because that was not something that was done in the original Exorcist, right? So if they wanted to do that, they definitely could have. I mean, they opened the doors because of the opening scene. They even kicked the door down further because of the lady that came in. But then you just kind of have her there, and that's it.
Yeah, to me, I think the director didn't do well on this. The director kind of, went further into the excitement part of the movie instead of developing some sort of story. The director is more focused on the frightening part of the movie where he's focused more on let's scare the people, let's get this over with.
And
Instead, he didn't put in a more relationship based idea with Catherine and Angela. How these girls, close as buddies, they had this ideology that, well, okay, my mom died and I would like to talk to her. How can we do that? Something like that.
And how did they miss that?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping that maybe I fell asleep somehow, because you just bring up a great point. They could have had Angela speak like her mom. Just like Reagan was speaking like the priest's mom in the original. Like there was just like, that was like, how did you not have that happen? And I'm hoping that maybe I fell asleep for a second, I missed that, because that could have been excellent. But to your point, there was a lot of flash. Now, don't get me wrong. I think it was really well made. I think that, like, I cringed when I was seeing their nails and like the help me and all that other stuff. Like, that was really good. Yeah. That was really good. Okay. But I think that, like, looking at this one and then looking at the original, the two or the biggest things that we're missing is the same thing we just keep on harping on. The relationship, because like you felt the issues, number one, because it was a small cast. Once you really got to the exorcism, it was really the two priests, Reagan, mom, done. And we're not even gonna talk about Ellen and how her cameo.
Yeah, it was.
You could have had the same movie and not have her in it, and you would not have had nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing taken away. So that's all I'm gonna say about that, because that's really what it is. But like, once you had the exorcism happen, you had these four characters, and that you can really, really focus on them, and especially that there was a lot going on between mom and daughter. Reagan fucked her up. I mean, Angela did the same thing to dad, but even that. Oh, you just gonna get me started, man. Oh my God.
if I do ask that question openly to anyone, they would say probably this one is because there's many reasons why people would choose this one because of its modern look on. I mean, modern filming, the modern way of storytelling, the visual effects, all of that, the originality, stuff like that. I think a lot of people would say the first one because it's something that it's a brand new take of horror back in that time. So now we already know about Exorcist as it is, possesses a girl and all of that stuff going on. Back then in the 70s, I think there were probably a couple stories that introduced that idea.
But not a lot.
But to have it in a movie now, it would be a bit frightening. The original movie would be a little bit more appreciative because of its originality. The cast and the acting and everything was a little bit out of touch to what we are getting now in modern times. You know, that's just the only thing I would say in terms of if this movie was the better one from the original.
The original, hands down.
The original,
for me,
hands down.
Hands down. Hands down. The original, I think, for two distinct reasons. There was a shock value that I'm not sure, and I wasn't live, so I could be contested, but I wasn't sure that was really present in cinema at that time. You see Reagan, she fingering herself. You see Reagan damn near taking the crucifix and basically the way that she cussing at her, at mom's, the way that the projectile vomit is everything. Listen, that is tame by modern standards, yes. But if you put that in 1970s where that wasn't a thing, there was people who they were saying that they were passing out, throwing up and everything, and I can kind of see why. Now, to me, is it that scary? If you really go through the thought process of exorcism, yeah, it is. If you go through the thought process of like a movie, just being a movie, I can get a lot of flack for it because everyone's gonna say, a lot of people, it's really known as a scary ass movie and it's one of the scariest of all time. I do not think so. I think it's more psychologically scary than it is actually scary. But again, I also am jaded by almost 50 years of seeing horror. And for me, that is not scary to me, right? This one, it looks nicer. It has a little bit of a cleaner like cuts because there were times where they were doing cuts that got on my nerves in the Exorcist, in the original Exorcist.
The cuts were horrible.
The modern take on like when you see Help Me, the way that it's on Reagan's body versus it being on, I believe it was Angela's body already. It could have been Catherine's, I'm not sure. But when you saw those two parallels, that jives modern, right? Like I said, the fingernails, just the way that they even went more into that. That jives modern.
Custom designs and everything.
Right, but like just even the girls and them being disgusting, like Reagan was. I mean, it's by David Gordon Green. And some of those gnarly kills, even though you can love to hate Halloween Ends, and believe me, I can understand it. There's some gnarly kills in there. You should have gotten better in this. Yeah. Okay? And especially with the script that they had, it doesn't compare.
Yeah, it doesn't.
The Exorcist, the older one, masterpiece. This one,
yeah, laughable.
So listen, if you like what you see, comment below. What did you think about The Exorcist Believer? Was you a believer of it? Did you like, I'd rather be the beaver, whatever. That was a bad pun. Anyway, I am Lainey.
I'm Jay.
This is Jay. You can catch us at Geek by Heart on IG and TikTok. You can catch Jay doing what?
My play of series quest with God of War. God of War. I'm actually now on Ragnarok. So, of course, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to be going to Gears of War from part 1, go all the way up
to part 5.
Yeah.
Damn.
You missed me this weekend. I didn't go live because we had some family issues we had to deal with this weekend. But this Friday, I'm back up. I'm live again. Yes. Please check me out. All right, so yeah.
You can check me out at Blurred's Eye View. That on YouTube on Tuesday and Thursday. Me and the whole crew are going to be there talking about a lot of different things. You can also check us out as B&M. We are going to be on Blurred Station. Look it up. Know what it's about. We are Lainey and Jay.
Be by heart. Catch you on the flip side, guys. Peace.